The truth is not soft, it is not comforting, and it is certainly not designed to make you feel good. The truth is sharp, unyielding, and often painful. Yet for those brave enough to wield it, truth becomes the ultimate weapon, a force so powerful that it cuts through manipulation, illusion, and deception with ease. We live in a world constructed on carefully curated images and narratives. Social media has turned life into a performance. Every photo is filtered, every word is chosen to please, every gesture is designed to be liked. People wear masks so convincingly that even they forget the face beneath them. This illusion is comfortable, even intoxicating, but it is also deeply dangerous, because when you live a life built on lies, you are not living at all. Truth strips away all of that. Truth is not glamorous, it doesn't come wrapped in validation or applause. Truth exposes your fears, your insecurities, and your flaws. It shows you exactly who you are, not the version of yourself that the world has told you to be. And yet, despite its difficulty, truth is the only thing capable of setting you free. It's the only thing that brings clarity to chaos. When you begin to live in truth, you start to see through the illusions that control so many people's lives. You notice the subtle manipulations in conversations, the unspoken power dynamics in relationships, and the social games people play to gain approval or dominance. You become immune to them, because you no longer live for external validation. This is what makes truth dangerous. Most people will not understand you when you embrace it. They may even fear you, because when you carry truth like a weapon, you are no longer easily influenced, controlled, or swayed. Those who depend on lies to maintain power cannot tolerate someone who refuses to believe them. We are conditioned from birth to play roles. Children learn early that being authentic can result in rejection or punishment, so they build personas to protect themselves. As adults, we continue this performance, adjusting our behavior to gain acceptance, approval, and love. But each layer of this performance distances us further from who we truly are. And when you lose yourself in this performance, you become easy to control. You become part of a system where authenticity is discouraged, and conformity is rewarded. Yet deep down, a part of you knows that this life is not real. Truth begins with self-awareness. It begins when you look in the mirror and stop pretending. You stop lying to yourself about what makes you happy, about the relationships you tolerate, about the life you've convinced yourself is enough. You confront your pain instead of numbing it. You admit that your insecurities exist instead of burying them. This process is brutal because it tears down everything false. But in that destruction, something incredible happens. You become unshakable. When you are no longer running from yourself, no one can use your weaknesses against you. When you are no longer hiding your pain, no one can weaponize it. Truth, therefore, is freedom. But let me warn you, most people will never choose truth because it demands courage. They would rather live in illusions that make them feel safe than confront reality. They fear being judged, rejected, or misunderstood, so they hide behind masks, relationships, jobs, and identities that give them a false sense of security. But the price of this security is high. They lose themselves. You cannot be free while living a lie. No matter how beautiful the mask is, it will always suffocate you. This is why embracing truth makes you powerful. You are no longer afraid of losing things that aren't real. You are no longer controlled by fear of rejection, because rejection of a false self is meaningless. When you live in truth, you attract people who love you for who you are, not for the mask you wear. And while this may mean losing relationships, jobs, or social approval, it also means gaining something far greater: authenticity, strength, and clarity. Think of history's greatest philosophers, leaders, and thinkers. They were not loved because they told people what they wanted to hear. They were feared and respected because they spoke truth even when it was dangerous. Socrates was executed for corrupting the youth of Athens with his ideas. Galileo was persecuted for revealing truths about the universe. Even religious figures were often hated by their contemporaries for speaking against lies and hypocrisy. Truth is rarely popular, but it is always transformative. The moment you decide to live in truth, you will face resistance. People will project their fears onto you. They will try to convince you that you are wrong, arrogant, or even dangerous. They will call you crazy for refusing to play along with their illusions, but deep down, their anger is not about you, it's about them. Your courage to live authentically threatens the foundation of their reality. When you refuse to conform, you remind them of their own chains. Truth is not about brutal honesty used as an excuse to hurt others. It's not about arrogance or superiority. It's about alignment. It's about making your words, actions, and beliefs match. When you live this way, There is no internal conflict, no need to maintain multiple versions of yourself. This alignment creates peace, strength, and resilience, because when everything else collapses, truth remains. There is a cost to living this way, but there is also a reward. You will lose people who only loved the mask. You will lose opportunities that require you to betray yourself, but you will gain a sense of power that cannot be bought. A power rooted in authenticity. A power that no one can take away from you, because when you live in truth, nothing anyone says or does can shake you. Their approval no longer defines you. Their rejection no longer destroys you. Their opinions no longer control you. Truth also requires you to face parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. It forces you to acknowledge your flaws, your weaknesses, and your mistakes. This is why so many avoid it. But by confronting these things, you strip them of their power. You stop hiding. And when you stop hiding, you stop being afraid. This is the paradox. By facing your fears, they lose their hold on you. By embracing your flaws, you make them powerless. By living in truth, you become untouchable. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you have nothing to prove. Imagine being able to walk into a room without feeling the need to impress anyone. Imagine living a life where every choice is aligned with your values, where every relationship is based on authenticity, and where your sense of worth is not determined by external validation. This is the freedom truth brings, but it won't come without struggle. The journey to truth is a battle. You will fight with yourself, your conditioning, your ego, and your fear. You will question everything you thought you knew. You will experience loneliness, because few are brave enough to walk this path. But in that loneliness, you will find something more powerful than companionship, self-respect. And when you have self-respect, you stop seeking validation from others. You no longer settle for less than you deserve. You stop allowing others to manipulate you. In relationships, truth acts like a mirror. It reveals who is real and who is not. People who truly love you will stay, not because of your performance, but because of your authenticity. Those who leave were never meant to be there. This realization is painful, but it is liberating, because truth clears the space for genuine connections to enter your life. Truth also brings clarity to your purpose. Many people feel lost because they are chasing goals that aren't their own. They are pursuing careers, relationships, and lifestyles chosen for them by society, family, or fear. When you begin to live in truth, you realize what actually matters to you. You stop wasting energy chasing things that don't fulfill you. This clarity allows you to focus your time and energy on what truly matters, making you more effective, more grounded, and more at peace. But here's the hardest part. Truth demands responsibility. Once you see reality clearly, you can no longer play the victim. You can no longer blame others for your choices. You have to take full ownership of your life. This level of accountability is terrifying for most people, which is why they choose ignorance instead. But only by taking full responsibility can you truly become free. Truth is a double-edged sword. It will cut through illusions, but it will also cut through your ego. It will destroy the version of yourself that you've built for others. It will expose everything you've tried to hide. But once you survive that process, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and unshakable. You will no longer need to pretend, to seek approval, or to hide. You will finally be able to live as yourself. The truth is that life is short, fragile, and unpredictable. Most people spend it playing roles instead of living fully. But when you choose truth, you choose freedom. Freedom to be yourself, to speak your mind, to love deeply, to create meaning, and to live without regret. This is the power of truth. This is why truth is the most dangerous weapon you can wield. Not because it destroys others, but because it destroys everything false within yourself. And once you are no longer controlled by fear, lies, or illusions, you become unstoppable.